Peace, my name is Victor Marca 27 Quinones. I was brought on to do this project through Artbridge as a partnership with an art organization. This was a project that was initiated in order to create a work of art that connects with the community of Brownsville. So the mural is located at 326 Rockaway Ave. That's on the corner of Eastern Parkway and Rockaway Avenue. The building itself is 140 feet tall. The mural ends at 120 feet. I mean, it's an epic project. I had the honor to bring on two very good friends of mine, Don RimX from Puerto Rico, Jeff Henriquez from the Dominican Republic, myself being from Mexico. So there's a lot of pride in, just being artists from different parts of the world coming together to create this project. I had been through Brownsville a few times, just noticing all the vibrancy of the West Indian culture, Caribbean culture, Afro-Latino culture. And the inspiration was just very obvious for me to create a mural that really speaks to the diverse community that thrives in Brownsville and creating something that really brings people together. The other thought was the hip hop culture that comes from Brownsville, groups like MOP, Boot Camp Click, Smith & Wesson, Sean Price, all these amazing artists that I grew up with, and the jean jackets that come from hip hop culture, which all of these ideas just brought together the image that you see now, which is the Brownsville King of Love. Connecting with the community in Brownsville was extremely important for this project to move forward. We needed a very, clear point of view, but at the same time, we also needed an actual view of the mural. So we connected with Reverend Kareem in the same building that the Assemblywoman Walker happens to be in, and they allowed us to have access to a roof. They were extremely generous and helpful and accommodating when it came to, access to seeing better views, even projecting a sketch onto the wall. All these things that were extremely important in order to have a successful project.
Having such a large-scale piece of art here in Brownsville only just exemplifies what it really means to be a Brownsvillian. All of the cultures that's represented really showcases the beauty and the collective strength of our community.
This mural has been quite a joy to be able to see, to discuss. It captivates a lot of the history and the legacy of our community. It pays tribute to surrounding neighborhoods with all of its Caribbean flavor. And it uses spread love, and that of course comes from a Biggie lyric, spread love is the Brooklyn way.
During the process of this mural, we got to meet a lot of different community members, owners of the local shops, also people that live within the community like Kevin Harry, who's also on the board for the Laundromat Project and very connected to Brooklyn communities and the creative people of Brooklyn.
This mural is so critically important to this community. And I dare say it's more than just a mural, it's a monument. And what it also is, it is a mirror of all the people who live around here. It's a mirror for young black and brown children, because what we know is true, they want to be seen. And this is that. Marca has given them this gift that will continue to live on. I want to say that when they see it, they see themselves.
My favorite part of creating this mural really has just been the engagement from the community. We worked with John Souza, who also worked with some nonprofits and some youth in the area, and was able to get feedback from a lot of different community members.
My name is John Souza. I'm the project director with Artbridge, and Artbridge was the arts organization that helped to give the support to Marca. I think every community needs the platform to speak for itself. And public art, to me, that first word is public, and so it should be treated as such. And then the art is also capital A art. Don't disrespect the artist and the power of creativity, of innovation, of someone's one idea. So it's not just following the format. That's what you do when you come into a community, is you're teaching other folks how to open their minds and think for themselves. So I think every neighborhood needs that platform. If you open it, not only in Brownsville, if you open the opportunity for creatives, for artists, you will never find a shortage of folks ready to share their ideas.
hearing the comments from people walking on the streets and seeing young people, senior citizens, people from all ages and all walks of life really connecting with the mural. A lot of young people saying, oh, my mother's from Grenada, or my grandfather was from Jamaica. And it's interesting seeing people reflect on their ancestry when they look at the mural, and most importantly asking who this kid was, and me explaining to them that the kid is a young man from Brooklyn, 12 years old. He's a normal kid, he loves sports, he's also of diverse background, but we wanted the child in the mural to be anonymous because we wanted kids to see themselves when they see that child. And if it was somebody that's too recognizable, then it becomes about that person and not so much about the feeling that you get when you see the representation.
My mom told me she had a surprise for me. I was like, I don't see anything. She told me to look up, and I looked up, and I was just like confused, happy, and like just like a flush of emotions. And people drive by here every single day. They can see it, they can represent themselves with it, they can feel a connection to it. And I think that's an honor.
So this piece, it's extremely important where it's located, facing a community that really can just feel the inspiration from the images that are in this mural. One thing that really struck me was that it's facing a juvenile detention center. Every day we would go up on this lift over 100 feet and I would look out at this detention center with barbed wire and think about the youth that are in there. And unfortunately, during the entire time, I never once saw any of the youth come out for fresh air, for sunlight, for anything. So that really struck me as odd, and also, you know, just disappointing to see that there's no engagement within the youth and there's no rehabilitation that I'm seeing happening with my own eyes in terms of at least trying to get young people energized in a healthier way. I really want the mural to inspire community members, inspire youth, inspire families to see themselves as the king and queens that they really are. You know, ultimately, I would love to see this theme continue through many cities, especially cities that I've been able to, you know, be a part of and create in, you know, Los Angeles, Detroit, Dallas, Chicago, Boston. All these cities, if they could each have, you know, their own version of a youth holding up a jean jacket, but that jean jacket representing who that community is in that specific city. You know, a Latin girl in LA, a different kid in Atlanta. And so I could just see this series continuing and growing and being super impactful, even to a point where it could be global. I would love to continue this series.